understand why some men don't like independent women. Because my daddy used to try that shit with me, and I get that nigga back the keys, nigga. What you're not gonna do is control me with your gifts, okay? Because you also, in addition to buying me that car, you also bought me a college degree, so I can go get a nut. That nigga came back and gave me the motherfucking keys. Shit, I didn't experience these type of niggas. I was raised by a strange nigga who liked to control people with his money. I bet you can't. Because if I could read or write, I could buy myself a car. But now I see why some women are encouraged to believe that their own ambition is unattractive, and some women are encouraged to believe that being independent is unattractive. Because when a man can't control you like this, or a woman, because there are plenty of women, bull daggers, dykes, studs that try to control women in the same exact way. So this ain't no man thing. This is a mental illness issue. I've encountered plenty of women who thought they could control me with their money. I'll take the money, honey, but you definitely ain't gonna control me. If you don't know, I bet you do now. So it's unfortunate that we do have so many women who are unfortunately raised to believe that their own ambition is unattractive, and I do believe that a woman should be able to depend on a man, but not in a situation where it's abusive. It should never, ever be that. If a man is going to provide for you and take care of you and help you advance your career or feed into your goals or whatever, it's got to be out of love. It can't be out of control. And we know that Cassie got into that situation trying to play a game with a player. We read that whole lawsuit. We already know. She knew that man was crazy. And she was like, yeah, I'll just keep going with it because he's going to get me where I want to go. Okay. Well, I'm glad that worked out. Let me continue. But I feel like no, we're at the right place. This was a very important part. The defendant used his considerable wealth and influence, offering them career opportunities. Once he provided his support, the defendant repeatedly threatened to take it away to ensure the victim's compliance with his demands, including their participation in free calls. So that's got to be Carisha. Carisha, you're not gonna say nothing. I mean, we saw you. We saw that this man got you a talk show on his network. We saw that you had those white fingernails. We saw him taking shopping on a repeated basis. I mean, if JT got picked up for credit card scamming, what makes us think you weren't doing the same thing and P. Diddy and Jay-Z didn't help you stay out of prison, Carisha? So what you have to do for it? Indeed, victims believe that they could not refuse the defendant's demands that they engage in freak-offs without risking their financial security or career prospects, or without repercussions in the form of physical or emotional abuse. Other violence. In addition to the defendant's physical, sexual, and emotional abuse of his romantic partners, the defendant repeatedly engaged in acts of violence toward his employees and others. As charged in the indictment, the defendant often assisted by members and associates of the enterprise, engaged in kidnapping, arson, physical violence, such as throwing objects at people, throwing people to the ground, and hitting, dragging, choking, and shoving others. Trigger warning. Numerous witnesses, including the defendant's employees and others, observed or experienced violence from the defendant firsthand and sustained lasting trauma as a result. Let me make a side comment. There was discussion about Kim Porter's book in our last episode. I did include in the breakdown playlist a live reading of all of the book, all 60 pages. But the reason why I haven't highlighted it is because I'll Be Sure said that shit is fake and that shit never happened. And that wasn't the notes that she was taking. So I just included it for the conversation. But I'll Be Sure said whatever's in that book that was released is not Kim's writing. Because in that book, it looked like him and P. Diddy did a little diddling. And I'll Be Sure was like, absolutely fucking not. He was like, whoever wrote that book is lying. Okay?